Yeah, welcome to this session of the Django tutorial series. And in this session, we are going to be looking at the Django admin, which is the easy way I've been talking about for the last during the last section. And this easy way, it's like very easy, and this session will be very short. And when we talk about Django admin is just a built-in application of the Django framework, and it provides a user interface unlike the shell thing that we have used previously in the session. It provides a user interface for you to undo, manage your data in the application, and I tell you, it's a very powerful feature that it allows you to quickly create a user interface to manage your models. If you have several models, instead of you to be doing it using the Python shell, you just use the interface shipped, and that is one of the beauty of Django. It's instead of you to now build your application and go to the admin and start building the admin interface. No, Python comes shipped with the administrator interface, and anything you can, and basically the administrator interface is just used for the CRUD operation, which is the create, the read, the update and delete of models. And I tell you, it is very customizable, and it also allow you to define the data that you want to display and how you want to display it and so on and so forth. But there's a disclaimer here. You should also note that this interface is not meant for the end user of the application. It is meant for you, strictly meant for you as the administrator, because if you give the user interface access to this admin panel, then they can do an undo with your application. They can add, maybe your application is a banking application, and they can just credit every end user, and all the end user have credits in their wallet. But that is, by the way, you should note that this admin interface is strictly meant for you and it is not meant for the end user. So let's jump to our code. Of course, we are going to continue with the code that we have been using, and since we'll be working with the terminal, of course the server side application, just come to these three dots, go to the terminal, then go to new terminal. So that will create your terminal for you. I delete the previous one and be sure that you are currently in that same folder. Of course, I am sure now. And I told you that anytime you want to start working with your application, you should start your virtual environment. That is the major thing. You should start your virtual environment. To start your virtual environment, just go source vmv script, and we go the way of active activate. So you see that now our virtual environment has been created. Now there's something I want to draw your attention to. When you look at the URL of the project itself, which is the coding script that we have been working with, you will see that it has admin shipped in. And even when we created the first migration, if you watch the previous videos, you realize that some migrations that we did not even create, it was shipped with our application. That is the pre-built Django application. And even when you go to our website, or sorry, the database, and this SQL viewer that we are using to view our database, SQLite database, you see that this was the only model that we created, which is student management, and that's student management we created student. But you see that you see Django migrations. Of course, these are all by the way, but you notice that we have auth user, authentication user, auth permissions, and so on and so forth. So that is to tell you that Django has some ready-made platform for you, and the one we are going to be looking at now is the Django admin. Now you can see that apart from the fact that you have the default URL, you also have the admin. Now let's visit the admin. Of course, we need to start our application. Now let's start our application and see the admin interface. Let's just do run server. Run server. Now our application started. So I hold the control and I click on the application. Now this is the default page that we built in the previous session. Now let's go to the admin. Now you can see the Django administration panel that comes shipped with Django. Now you see that this, I did not build this, and it comes shipped with Django. So of course, if you try to log in we try to log in, you realize that it's telling us that please enter correct username and password, meaning that we don't have an admin user yet. So to create an admin user, just come back to your application, let me stop the server. To stop your server, you just press Ctrl C, it will stop the server. So I clean the, so that we have a clean work environment. Now let us create an admin user. To create an admin user, all you just need to do is just do Python or py, but let's do Python now. Python manage.py, and let's now create super user. That is very important. That is how to create an admin user. Python manage.py, and we create the super user. Now once we, now it asks me for the username of the super user. Let me call it admin. Email address of the super user, I'll say admin@gmail.com, and the password I will also say admin. Of course it will not be visible, so once I press enter, I press admin again, of course it will not be visible for security. And it will ask me that okay, the password is too similar to the username, it's too short, it contains at least 8 characters, this password is too common. Do you want to continue? Yes, I just want to continue, but please don't use this for production. Don't use admin. If your application is going to the project or production, you should use a strong password and a strong username, because once the user access this interface, the administrator interface, then your application is open and they can do and create our super user. So let me now start the application again, and we now log in to see how the admin interface look like. Run server. So the server is working now. I go back, I refresh the login page. So now I've created my admin user. I then do admin, and I log in, and boom, this is our admin interface. Let me make it to be light mode.